excited. This is our first ever lunch breaks. Chloe Felicina on. She'll be joining us really soon. Hi, everybody. And so Chloe is joining us, and she's just got to put in a request to join, and then I'm going to bring her on in. There she is. Give us 1 second. Let's welcome Chloe. Go live with Chloe. What's up? Where are you? Waiting for Chloe. Hold on. She's coming in. So this is our first time ever doing interviews with the dancers on live Instagram.
Hi!
Hey, look at you, beautiful.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for being our first ever dancer live interview. This is our lunch break. And
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Chloe, what have you been up to over the last couple of months?
Well, at first I was quite sad because we were just on the brink of having our 2-week run, and I just kind of went. I slept a lot, like depressed sleeping. Then after I picked myself up, my husband, he's a scientist. He has to do all of his work from home, like we all do, and I rearranged the whole house so that his office was in our master bedroom, and we did a lot of rearranging. We've done some house improvements. I'm taking some college classes, so it's been good to have time for that. Yeah.
So you're adjusting.
I'm adjusting, yes.
What is it that you look forward to when we get back into the studio? What is it that, like, is the beat to your drum when we're back in the studio? What is it that you love most about dancing?
Well, I look forward to pushing myself through space with as much force as I can and not having a wall right in front of me. And I think just the interaction, the connection that we have with each other, and the choreographer and the dancers around us. And I think when we get back to that point, it will be so meaningful because that's the exact thing that we've had to come apart from, is connecting with each other physically. And that's what dance is about. It's about how touching each other is a unifying experience, no matter what language you speak or what your past experience is. Touching another human being is really special and important. And that's our job usually.
I know. Feel.
Yeah.
Are you finding some silver linings in this time?
Definitely. I've had time to work on my personal stuff that I'm always working on. And the college classes, I'm actually, well, this whole social media, I've always been very, like, not into social media. And I'm still not very much into social media. But I'm actually taking a class on social media marketing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that I don't know what the trajectory of our industry will be but I want to be able to help out with it. And I think dance is always really relevant, even if it isn't presented in the same ways that we have been presenting it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting, right? Trying to figure out how to break this, not fourth wall,
Right.
global wall. I mean, but I think it's a great chance for us to really kind of take what we do and share it with the world, which is why we wanted to start these lunch breaks and this opportunity to interview you and the other dancers, which we're going to do all week long. When did you first start dancing, Chloe?
I was 3. Yeah, I think I guess the story was that I really wanted to dance when I was 2, but nobody would take me. And then I started dancing when I was 3, and my mom had my little brother when I was 4,
Right.
She just stopped taking me because she had just had a baby, and I would say, "Is ballet today?" And she said, "No." "Is ballet today?" "No," for like a whole year. And then finally, when I was 5, I started going back to dance. That's what mom tells me.
Uh, and when did you become a professional dancer?
I was 17. I just turned 17. Um, the Foundry, which was then directed by Alex Ketley and Christian Burns,
Mhm.
they asked me to do a project, and it was amazing because I hadn't done very much improvisation at that point. But this project was based off of driving around California and improvising outside in beautiful places around California. So it was definitely like learning by immersion. It's my
Mhm.
first time being paid as a dancer, and I had to improvise. So there was no room for fear, you know? I was just like, okay, I gotta do it. And I had some really amazing experiences during that time. And it definitely pushed me into um, a path where I am now. I love improvising. It's like a really big part of who I am as a dancer. So that's my first job.
Why do you like improvising? What does it do? How does it inform you?
Um, I like the the blend of being very much in the moment and instinctively reacting to what's happening, and tapping into like the innate childlike aspect of dancing. That coupled with having a bird's eye view of the composition of what's happening, knowing what I've done previously, what I want to build to, like the more analytical construction, that you're trying to have both of those things playing at the same time, so you can make something that is not horrible.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's still horrible, but I really, really like the risk of that. Like, if you, it's only through that risk that you get those amazing magical moments where, you know, there's the dancers involved, everything that they have to bring to the table at that moment, plus that serendipitous, like, magical component that is invited through improvisation. And that's, I'm very interested in that.
Mm. And so juxtaposition, classical ballet, classical ballet.
Sorry, say that again.
Why do you love the technique and the form? And what is it that inspires you each and every day to come in and work? What about the classical form do you love?
I love classical ballet because it feels like a blank paper. With all the choreographers we work with, and this is a beautiful part about it, it's like you're learning them. It's like uh, you're trying to understand who they are and how you can best serve them. Woo.
Let
Ah!
down. I'm gonna let you down too. Woo! Yes.
But with ballet, it's it feels like a science where you can get better and better at the science, and then your creative expression, it comes purely from you, you know, like
Yeah.
on this blank canvas, how you're going to do your tendu. There's an infinite amount of ways you can stay within the form but color it and make the meaning different, you know,
Mm,
just by how you do that tendu.
right.
Feels like almost the purest way as a dancer to be able to communicate, because it's not filtered through another person's experience and spirit.
Oh, that's a good way to help understand because I feel similar, right?
Yeah.
It's like a chance you get in, and it's like learning to articulate your words each day. You can say the same words over and over, but you can have different intention.
Yeah. And I think it takes it away from style. I don't really like the word style
Yeah.
because I just want to be good at communicating.
Hmm.
And like you can communicate in a style, but I think if you feel like you are leading with a style, that kind of can put parameters on what you are able to communicate and how you are able to communicate it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just go into like, what about this music is meaningful to me, and what do I want to highlight about it, or what do I find interesting about Piqué Arabesque or whatever. If you go into the actually what you want to communicate, it can maybe get you past your habits, your stylistic habits.
So tell the friends, thanks again for joining. This is our first ever lunch break, and we're starting our lunch breaks with Chloe. Tell us when you joined BalletX and why did you want to be with BalletX, be a part of our company? You were one of our very first dancers, FYI.
I was dancing with Sacramento Ballet with the illustrious Colby Damon.
Oh, yes.
I met him when I was 15, and we danced in Sacramento Ballet together. He would go off and work for something called BalletX and come back and guest with Sacramento Ballet. And I was like, that's cool. You know, I heard about it. And then Matthew Neenan came to choreograph a piece on Sacramento Ballet, and he used me. One of the first rehearsals I had with him, he had me do a lift with somebody, and I landed on the top of my foot, like a pointed foot, and it turned just black. Like the top of my foot was black. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, you broke your foot. But it didn't hurt, and it was totally fine. It was just super impressive. That was my first experience with Matthew Neenan. But it was so great, and I enjoyed it so much, and I was very inspired, and I asked him if I could do more with him. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, come for the summer series. So that summer was 2010, and I came, and he made the last class, and Matthew Prescott made a ballet, which I can't remember the name of, something about the day.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But yeah, the dancers were just incredible. Laura Feig and Tobin Delcourt.
Yeah, we had a great group of dancers.
Amazing.
Yeah. What, you've probably been in maybe 40 or 50 world premieres with BalletX. Can you give me one highlight of a ballet that just like really resonated with you? The role that you helped originate? And why did it, like, you know, stay in your heart? Why would it be the ballet you would remember now?
I have so many of them. I'll just say as they come.
Okay, yeah.
I remember I wasn't able to perform it when it premiered because my knee exploded and I went to the hospital and stuff. But when we were making Smash Up or Mash Up,
yeah, with Adam
Hoagland, those first couple rehearsals where we worked on the Like a Virgin solo were some of the most fun I've ever had in rehearsal. Like, we really had a great synergy of like him laughing at me and me laughing at him and us laughing at the music and trying, experimenting things. It was very, very fun.
Yeah.
I think for all the dancers, Sunset will be always brought up. It would have been that way even if we had only performed it those 6 days we had premiered it. But we have since performed it everywhere and so many times. And performing it at Jacob's Pillow, I think built into that piece are just incredibly satisfying moments of community where we're clapping and chanting for Zach.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's like killing himself on the super wet, hot stage at Jacob's Pillow.
Yeah. Or
we're so off key.
Yeah.
You know, like those moments are really amazing.
And we performed it in Vail and New York City.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's an amazing ballet choreographed by Matt Neenan also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other moments, getting to be an assassin in Beasts.
Oh.
Niccolo Fonte's Beasts. I had that quartet where I got to kill everybody.
Oh yeah.
I've always loved action movies. And it was a lot of fun too.
You were like wonderful, taking people out.
I was taking people out. I was
Out.
seducing them.
Yeah.
And I think, like, through my whole career, I've always had the most fun when I can act. Like, I really like acting. And that's a lot of fun. I've also noticed that through my career, if I just love the music, it doesn't matter really what I'm doing. If I love the music, I will love it.
Talk about acting. I mean, you are an extraordinary actress when no matter what you're doing. I mean, you clearly go into a place of experience, like you're able to draw a real profound, authentic communication through your eye. Like, where do you go in your mind? Do you go to specific places? Do you use real life to, you know, inspire and bring forth authentic? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I got to be Clara when I was 10. That was very fun. And I just remember, and this is what I've done the whole way through, is like thinking about, if that were really me in that situation, what would it feel like? And I try to go through every second of whatever I'm doing and like, what does this feel like? What does this mean? And for stuff that doesn't have roles too, like, what does this actually need to feel like to me? I try to understand that and then feel it. And I also try to stay open to, if that day makes me feel something else, I try to just magnify my feelings. You know, like, yeah, I think that's it. I think I try to. I also think about like what reads, what will work. I try to get feedback about, does this read? Does this work?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I like music, when the music is appropriate to what I'm asked to do, which it usually is because we work with great people.
Right.
It feels easy for me to be moved by music. Like, I think that's something that I have inherent to me. Like, music just, everybody has that. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
But I feel like it floods me, and I try to let that inform my muscles and like how much energy I put into them. And my face, I don't think about my face very much. But I just try to put myself in the situation, even if it's an outlandish situation, like killing 4 guys. But yeah, that's the most fun for me.
So what would you say, because I've known you for a long, long time now, and like giving advice, like what's the best, because I think in order to be an extraordinary dancer, you really do have to balance the technique and the challenging physical aspects of the job. But to be an artist, you have to bring in the emotional, the authentic, the real, asking the questions that you're just telling us about. Do you go back and forth, come in and out? Like, I'm going to work on this step as the ballet dancer, and now I'm going to work on the emotional truth with the movement. Talk about how you balance that, because to be an artist, you have to balance that. You can't just worry about doing a triple pirouette after 32 fouettes. Perkes has been in Swan Lake, riding up to that moment. And although the ballerina is worried about the fouettes, she also has to be the actress when she's done, right? So
Yeah.
just trying to share with the audience a little bit about the complexities of the physical and the mental moment.
I think that just like how you always try to encourage us to be our best dancers in ballet class, like you're always going to be more successful if you don't separate the two. If you fall in love with the technique as much as you do with self-expression, because you see that they're the same thing. Like if you see that you can express yourself in a pirouette that floats and then lands in that fourth with a turned out back foot, like if you see that within that you can be yourself completely, there's nothing stifling you about like turning out both legs equally and in position and like just standing there. If you can know that expression is available to you while you're still in fifth position or standing on the side of the stage, then you don't have to separate the two. It's always like how I work my foot or my extension. Yeah, I want my extension to be higher, but why do I want my extension to be higher? Because of what it evokes, like the freedom and the striving of being a person. That's why I want my extension to go up.
Up.
I want it to go up.
That's why you sit with your leg on the back.
And the more I connect those two, the more successful I am.
Nice.
And the more, and another, always the quickest avenue to that for me is listening to the music. Like the second I forget about the music,
the technique,
I'm just a body full of millions of parts that aren't doing what they should be doing. But I can get into that place if I start listening to the music really hard, And then so that's the class portion. But in rehearsal, I think something that was instilled in me from really early on, probably at Sacramento Ballet, was just you keep working. After you get your material, you go and you keep working on it. And you keep working all day. And if you're, like there's no end to what you can get out of something. So I think throughout my career, I've tried to, the time on the side, and we have a really nice studio where there's space. You can check your self out. So I try to just like take the time on the side of the studio to ask questions like, what are my feet doing? What are my hands that are often ugly doing? What are my shoulders doing? I kind of sift through my body parts in a more pedantic way. Look at that. And like, can my feet be part of this in a better way? Can my shoulders be a part of what what the choreographer is trying to do in a better way? And I think just trusting that if you keep working on the side, you'll be in a better place. I'm always more personally fulfilled if I really do that. But then as you perform, you'll be in a more stable, like fully fulfilled place in your performance, I think. And I don't always do that, but I try to do
it. Chloe, it's been so great connecting with you. Is there anything you want to say to our audience who's chiming in right now?
Just I'm really grateful that all these people who love to dance have worked so hard to make dance available, and it's been generations on generations of people that, like you, Christine, have put unbelievable amounts of work in that make audience members now want to come and watch us. It's all building up on each other's shoulders. Yeah. And for all the audience members that are praying for us and cheering us on during this time and like sticking with us, it's really great.
Yeah.
So.
And we're praying for them as well.
Yeah.
We got this awesome
everybody.
So thank you, Chloe. Thanks to everyone who chimed in. It's our lunch break. We wanted to start with you, Chloe, because you have been with us and helped shape this company in such a special way. Your heart and soul has, resonated with so many people who get to see the company. You're a beautiful person inside and out. So I love you, lady. I can't wait to get a real hug. And thank you so much, Chloe.
I love you, Christine.
Bye, everybody.
Get ready.